All right then, welcome everybody to a very belated notebook. We've got 3 to get through today. We've got France, we have Imola, and we have Mexico. So in the France Grand Prix, which happened a few weeks ago, obviously, it ended up being a one-shot qualifying as the lobby shat itself. So we ended up doing one shot. Lots of anger in the Discord. Apologies, not a lot I can really do about that, but it just happened to be so. Henry ended up sticking it on pole with a 1:29.127, and Kachau was 0.3 after him. To be fair, there wasn't too much difference between where we were. We were about halfway through short qualifying when it kicked us all out.
Yeah,
the positions were quite similar, so I can understand the hate, but unfortunately, I think the biggest loser was Lasser, wasn't it? Lasser was pole and then dropped quite a bit, but yeah, unfortunately, it happens. It happens. In the race, however, Henry got the fastest lap with a 1:30.37.07. And who won?
So Holmesy got P1. Holmesy actually jumped up from P5 up to P1. So good performance from him.
Yeah.
Obviously, crowned the champion. He's not the champion, is he?
Not yet.
Not yet. He wasn't the champion at the time.
He nailed it on, though, in this race, pretty much.
So, helping Holmesy towards his championship. And then P2 was Silent, got all the way up from P18. So
Great drive.
Yeah, great drive. And then the other one, surprise podium sitter, was Will Ans from P12 all the way up to P3. So great performance from him.
Yeah, now let's go into overtake of the race. I went for the overtake of the race being Silent on Cool Beans, or their battle, pretty much all through the third sector on lap 5. So let's have a quick look at Silent overtaking Cool Beans. Yeah,
I'm still in the train there. Not a lot going on.
No, it's Silent.
Silent's got a really good run
Yeah,
there.
he
He's going to have
has.
the inside line for the next corner. He might have the moves. He's going to stick it around the outside. If he can just put a bit of throttle on and get the inside of the right-hander, which he does.
Cool Beans
Good
fighting
defense,
us,
and
yeah.
it's still side by side on the run. And the car's not moving, just trying to catch the slipstream of Marco Kenyon. Silent does get the place in the end.
Right, into the grade book then. So we start off with the top team of the weekend. That was Alpha Tauri. Holmesy winning the race. Started P5, P1, as we've already mentioned. He gets an A, though, only an A. And Ted Wardo in the other Tauri started P20, unfortunately DNF'd. I think it was right at the beginning. Got caught up and tangled, so an E for Ted.
Over in the Red Bull, Lasser in the Red Bull started P6 and DNF'd. So unfortunately an E from him. But the star performance, the A-star performance, goes to Silent.
Yeah.
Started P18 and, as we already said, finished P2. So on the podium from all the way at the back of the grids. It's definitely worthy of an A-star.
Yeah, the strategy definitely paid off for him that race. In the Aston Martin, we had Will as the top finishing Aston Martin driver, starting P12, finishing P3, as already mentioned, and another solid A performance from Will. On a bit of a run with those, but Bacon, on the other hand, his form after initially starting in SFR, right up there at the beginning. Unfortunately, his form is dropping off a little bit, and so are his grades. He gets an E for his DNF from starting in a P15 slot.
Ouch. Totally the opposite over in Ferrari. Good race for both Ferraris. Cool Beans started P8, got up to P4, so a good drive from him. Deserving of an A. And then Righty Boy, who is hit and miss with his form at the moment, but nailed it on in France from P14 up to P7. So again, another A-worthy drive.
Yeah, both Ferraris with the A's. Williams, top driver was Rayner, started P9, finishing in P5. Solid. And then Cornet, he was up there for most of the race. Started in P7, got up there, but then I think he dropped down. I don't know. I think he might have actually retired. I can't remember, but he finished in P11, so it's a C drive from Cornet.
It was a while ago.
We're old,
so
we're old.
we can be
We
forgiven.
can't remember.
Over in the McLaren garage in the Papaya machines, not such a great performance from Henry. Started, as you said, on that podium position, on that P1 pole position rather, but dropped right back to P6. So not great drive from him. We do know he is like a quali king, properly sweats the one shots, as it were, in time trial. But when it comes to race, sometimes his form can be a bit off. But yeah, so a C for Henry. And then Red Dog, started P13 up to P9. Good bit of form this season from Red Dog. He
Both
stepped it
McLarens,
up.
to be
Both
fair.
McLarens, yeah.
Yeah.
B16 wasn't there this week though.
No.
But yeah, Red Dog's really stepped up again this season. So worthy of an A.
Yeah, definitely. In the Mercedes, just like Ferrari, both drivers get the same grade, but both grades are going to be C's. Dace dropping from P4 to P8, C, and Viet dropping from P10 to P14, C. So yeah, both drivers getting a bunch of C's.
Over in the Alfa Romeo garage, Kachau, the Spin King this year, has taken that title from Toss. Started on the front row in P2, but dropped right the way back to P10. Hopefully he'll find his form again soon.
I think he's on it.
Yeah,
He's getting back.
we raced quite a few races, just a few 5-lappers last night in Jeddah, and not one spin over a good 6, 7, 8 races probably. But Kachau for France, it's a D. In the other, Alfa Romeo Exotic joined him, started P17, finished P11, so a C from Exotic.
Sorted. In the Haas. The Haas Russian poo box. Medwards started in P16, finished in P12, just outside the points, but a B from me. And then Mark of Kenya, starting P11, finishing P15. Another sorry race from Mark of Kenya in SFR, brings home a C.
Just to clarify there, the Haas is the Russian poo box, not Medwards.
The Haas is the Russian poo box, yes.
Sounded like you were calling Medwards a Russian poo box.
No, I don't want to get demonetised.
No. Over in the final garage then for France, in the Alpine garage, Indian Jesus needs to pray a bit more for next week. Not on great form in France, started P3, dropped down to P16, worthy of an E. It's quite a big drop, losing 13 places.
Yeah.
And then Charlie, who was the full-time driver at the time, started P19 but DNF'd. So yeah, E for him as well.
E, right, France. Done. Imola. Now, Imola, I wasn't there for. Family fireworks. I got dragged to at the last minute, so I had to make the wife happy. So I ended up missing Imola, but obviously Delta and Mr. Woot stepped up to the plate and delivered a great race. Even though again, the lobby decides to absolutely crap itself and throw us out, and that's happened pretty much in all three of these actually. So yeah, that's going to be a running theme. But Lassa stuck it on pole with a 1 minute 14.602, and unfortunately got off to a horrible start because someone didn't put formation lap on and didn't tell anyone. Don't know who that was, but yeah.
We'll blame Mr. Woot.
Should we do the meme?
Mr. Woot was...
Yeah, so unfortunately Lassa did lose pole position straight away, went down to like P16 I think I saw. But yeah, so Lassa started on pole, and then we had a race win
of course, none other than Honesy. He did get that P1 in the end, jumping all the way up from P18. Lassa did really well, though, to come back and fight for that win. He wasn't far off at the end, unfortunately, but did manage a P2. So apologies from myself for not putting the formation.
But he actually won the race on the track.
Penalties.
On the track.
On track.
But he got given a steward's penalty for his instant crack.
That's right.
So he actually lost P1 from the stewards, so blame them as well.
I mean, I was there, but I didn't read the stewards' reports. Bad Delta. And the other podium position went to Kachau. So in the last one, we called him the Spin King, and then in Imola, he decided to come back on form.
I think he spun in Imola as well, didn't he?
I think he did.
Yeah.
Name a track that Kachau hasn't spun at. It's easier.
Fastest lap went to Cornet. He got a 1:15.921. And overtake of the race, as chosen by Delta, was...
Yeah, so obviously it's hard when you're watching. I appreciate the work that Van Rocco does and all the other commentators in trying to remember an overtake of the race. But watching it back, actually, there was a great one. So Mark of Kenya just pushes past, I believe, NRL Ben. And then Kachau sitting nicely behind Indian Jesus and NRL Ben, and then slips one right past and does them both. Let's take a look. And he's going to be on the inside as Mark of Kenya goes up the inside of Cali Rob, just gets past him and makes Cali Rob have to adjust his line, and it looked like Kachau snuck through there nicely as well. Kachau making a double overtake on Indian Jesus and Ben.
So let's go into the grade book. Alpha Tauri first again. Honesy again is becoming the new Fünf Kugel Nice. But Honesy started in P15, finished in P1, taking advantage of, I think he was, he's qualifying, I think does his practice session in qualifying at the minute and then gears himself up for the race. Because he's been starting towards the back in quite a few races at the minute. But yeah, 15-1 and A-star, sorted. And then NRL Ben in the other one, first race in SFR for quite a long time actually, because he was obviously a commentator last season. DNF, started P11, D. Sorry, mate.
Over in the Red Bull garage, we've got Lasser, who obviously started P1, did finish P1, but then obviously got that demotion down to P2. But nonetheless, a very worthy performance from Lasser. Back on form from his 2019 days with an A. And then Stuart Littlefield, the other gap in the Red Bull garage, started P10, finished P16, but a DNF finished position. So, Stuart, that was an E from me.
In the Alfa Romeo, Kachow, P4 to P3, solid A. And same with Exotic, another good drive. You started at a lot further back than where Kachow did, so P18. You ended up doubling your positions and finishing in P9. So that's an A from me as well.
In the Aston Martin garage, so Indian Jesus filled in this week for Impossible. Started P6, finished P4. Good performance from yourself, only gained 2 positions, but a good performance, so worthy of a B. And Willans started P9, finished P12. Got caught up in an incident quite late on in the race, coming through one of the chicanes. I think it was turn 1, turn 2. So yeah, unfortunate for Will, but still worthy of a C drive.
Yeah, lowest grade Will's got for a long time, that actually. To be fair, lowest grade. He's been well up there the last few weeks. Into the Williams again. Rayner, fastest Williams driver of the weekend. P5 to started P5, dropped down to P6, but still for an Imola race, very solid A. And then Cornet started P7, finished P13 with the first DNF, or the last DNF. First of the DNFs, last of the D, whichever way you want to put it.
Last of the
D.
DNFs.
Yeah, that's the one. D.
Over in the Mercedes garage, 2 different forms this week. Dace started P3, did drop down to P5, but still a nice clean race from yourself, so a B. Viet got caught up in some front wing losses as we watched it back again. So started P17, DNF'd, so an E for Viet.
Sorted. And Haas, Mark of Kenya. Finally, a good race from Mark of Kenya. Started in P19, finishing in P7, so that is definitely an A from me. And then Medwards, DNF, started P16, finished last, or the first of the DNFs this time round, E.
In the McLaren garage, B16 came back and joined us, started P12. Good performance from him again, on good form, finished P8, so an A. And Red Dog started P14, gained 4 positions to P10 at the end of the race, so a B.
Sorted. In the Alpine, Cali Rob, P13 to P11, solid. Just outside the points though, B. And then Charlie started P8, finished P17, DNF'd, D.
And then finally in the Ferrari, just the one driver, Grack was filling in this week. Started in P2 and finished in P15, DNF'd, unfortunately. Lots of incidents with Grack, bless him. Few brought on by himself, just spinning. When I say incidents, I don't mean he was crashing into everyone, but a few spins there. So worthy of the F grade this week, for this week.
I put it down as an E, but you can give him an F if you like.
I'm going to give him an F. I'll do what I want, man, Rocco.
Does what he wants.
It's not got the same effect.
No, it's not. Anyway, Mexico, where we've just been. Fresh in the memory. So, Henry got pole. 1 minute 14.335, plus 3/10 to Kachow. So Kachow was 3/10 behind. At one point, it looked like Henry was going to have about an 8 or 9/10 pole position lead, and then all the drivers thought, I need to drive a bit faster. And they closed the gap a little bit. Fastest lap went to Henry. Henry got the Grand Slam, so 1:16.555. And he won the race. Started P1, finished P1, made a 2-stop work. And then we had Honesy starting in P17, driving all the way back through the field again. 2 stops, finished in P2. And Cornet starting P3, finishing in P3. So, but did a 3-stopper with the safety cars we had. And yeah, he finished in P3. With regards to overtake, I went for the overtake Will on Dommy Lee towards the end of the race. Battling that, there's about 4 cars literally fighting over the same bit of tarmac and same apex for God knows how many laps towards the end.
It was a good 5 or 6 laps at least, if not quite a lot more.
Ended up losing track of everyone else, but just watching this battle because it was you just saw the arrows going up and down, up and down, up and down. But Will finally getting it done just before they entered the right-hander into the stadium section around the outside when they were 3 wide going into it. Brilliant. Let's have a quick look.
Following that along the battle, Will's now only 2 tenths behind Dommy Lee, and he's going to get him back into the stadium section.
It looks like it's going to be 3 wide. It's 3 wide. Dommy's going to get swamped. Will goes round the outside. What a move from Will. What an absolute move there from Will.
Will made that stick.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a brilliant move there from Will. Round the outside, 3 cars. Dommy Lee just got sandwiched.
Let's go to the grey book. Right, the grey book. So we'll start off in the Alfa Romeo garage. Obviously, Henry started P1, finished P1. Good drive from him. Managed to keep it on the track, no incidents or anything. So definitely an A drive. And then joined by Kachow, started P2, DNF'd.
Yeah.
Back on form as we know it. So for Kachow, it's an E.
Sorted. Then we go to Alpha Tauri, Honesy, A from me, starting in P17, finished in P2. Solid, but just an A. Mark of Kenya, back on form. The form is bad. P16 to DNF. He did get pushed into the first part of the S, I believe, from behind. I can't remember who it was, but there was quite a few cars crowding him. I think he was trying to get out of the way of other people. But yeah, E.
In the Williams garage, Cornet, great form from him, started P3, finished P3. Cornet is really coming back into it now, he's got back into the game. So a nice A performance from yourself. Rayner, on the other hand, dropped back a bit, started P7, dropped down to P10 over the line. So C for Rayner.
And in the Aston Martin, Will is back on form, back getting a good grade. It was close, but I'm not going to give you the A star. You're going to get an A, but you started P11, finished P4, although officially with the lobby glitches and everything, you were supposed to be P5, so apologies about that. I've already apologised to you privately. But yeah, solid drive, great moves, great battling, great overtake, so A. And in Bacon, fortunately being the second Aston Martin driver at the minute, Will is definitely the number 1 driver there, especially second half of the season. E from me, starting in P8, DNFing.
In the Red Bull garage, another good performance from Lasser. Started P19, so right at the very back pretty much. But ploughed his way through the field, got some great overtakes in there, made advantage of the safety cars, got himself up to P5, so definitely worthy of an A grade. Grack, on the other hand, didn't have such a great race, started P4, DNF'd, so E.
In the Ferrari, we had Dommy Lee stepping in, getting a B grade from a P6 to P6. Nothing more you can do. Consistent. And Righty Boy, starting in P10, DNFing. Close one. I'm going to give you a D. Not going to drop you down to an E because you DNF'd, because I think you did get pushed round by Kachow into the wall. So I'll let you off at least 1 grade there.
In the Haas garage, Mr. Woot stepped in to fill a reserve seat, started P14, got himself up to P7, so a great drive from Mr. Woot for a reserve, so a B. And Medwards started P15, finished P18?
11.
P11, can't read Van Rocker's writing. So Medwards, P15 to P11, good drive from you, nice, decent, just consistent drive, so that's a nice C.
And in the McLaren, we had Red Dog and B16. Red Dog starting P18, finishing in P8, and the only driver out of all 19 who finished not to get a penalty. Gained 10 positions, no penalties, A star. Easy. Got a bit of hate from it, from people who wanted the A star, but no, I gave it to someone who drove so consistently and cleanly through the whole weekend, or the whole race. And then B16 started P9, finished in P9, so solid but B.
In the Alpine garage, one driver did very well, the other driver not so well. Stuart Little started P13. Is that P13, Tom?
Yeah.
And finished P12. So again, another nice, consistent drive.
Should have been about P6.
Yeah.
But with his penalties of 24 seconds.
24 seconds. But even though he was getting the penalties, he figured he's not going to win any massive points or anything, so we're just going to stay in for a bit of fun. So he was really pushing the guys up front that he was sticking with. So a C drive from him. And then myself, started P12. My qualifying wasn't great, if I'm honest. I had Van Rocco in my ears, commentating my lap. It's a left, it's a right, it's a left. And it was entertaining me, but then I got on the throttle a bit too much and binned it. And then in the race, just totally messed myself up. Twice around...
You messed yourself?
I messed myself, yeah.
Oh, nasty.
As I went flying into a wall. Twice going through the S section. Lost it the first time, needed a front wing. Lost it the second time, died. So started P12, DNF'd.
You can grade yourself. I put a grade down, but you can grade yourself.
I'll give myself an E for that.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Poor.
And in the Mercedes, Days started P5, DNF'd, and E. Solid. Sorted. So that is 3 weeks worth of notebooks, 3 weeks worth of grey books, 3 weeks worth of overtakes of the race. Thank you for listening to us. Thank you for watching, liking, subscribing, driving, reacting, all that jazz. We head to, where do we head to this week? Brazil, into Lagos. We have a guest hot lap from Shane from PAFR. That'll be dropping probably on Saturday or the weekend sometime before the race. And yeah, that's about it.
That's it.
Anything
Look
to add?
to it. No, nothing from me.
Perfect. Thank you for listening. That's it.
Over and
out. Done.